KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Okay, so the question is that the totalitarian forms that we've seen primarily in the past have been male, but maybe we're seeing something different now. I really don't think it's different. I think it's of a common kind that's expanded in its dominion. So you imagine that there's an essential feminine pathology, just as there is an essential masculine pathology. And the essential feminine pathology Freud mapped out. It's the Oedipal mother. And the Oedipal mother is the mother that gets too close to her children, right? And intermingles herself with them to too great a degree that in her attempts to protect them undermines them fatally. And so there's a classic representation of the feminine in the West, and the classic representation is Mary. And here's one of the representations. It's lovely, and it's derived, at least in part, from the story of Mary and the snake in the Garden of Eden. And so Mary has her foot on a serpent, and she's holding Christ off to the side, like this. Well, that's exactly what mothers have always done. It's a biological portrait of human women, is they hold their infants out of the reach of the terrible serpentine predator. Obviously, that's what we do. Well, that's fine, but adults aren't infants, and neither are children. And if you treat them like they are, you undermine them. You pathologize them. You turn them into old infants. That's an ugly thing. And that's the Freudian nightmare. You know, and this happens in therapy very frequently. I mean, you can be tangled into a terrible relationship with your father. That's often either because he was absent, abusive, or tyrannical, something like that. But the standard pathology with mom is she did everything for you. Well, what's left for you to do? Nothing, including never leaving. Right, and that's the motivation, you know, for the woman who's nothing but...
Jordan Peterson be clowning. Oh, Lord, the voice of reason is on fire tonight. Tonight's topic, the new mama's boy, mothering. When men are boys and wives become mothers. Sister, let me just say this, sister. Sisters that are listening. I know you love your man, but you can't save him from his work. I know you love your man and you love your relationship and you want to keep your relationship going. But you can't up-level his spiritual work. Do you understand? See, many men love working with their hands and fixing things and making money in much the same way, using the same analogy that Attila used for the women. A lot of time men focus on work because work is a distraction from spirit work. And let me just say, when I say a distraction, please understand, men gotta work or they don't eat. So the pathology that, what we've pathologized is that's the only work that matters. You see, after I come home from fighting the world, your job is to make sure this place is peace, right? But men also want women to protect them from the work they gotta do internally. Right? Oh, no, listen to me. Hey, brother, you know what you got to do? You got to sit down with your mother. I know you don't want to hear me say that to you, brother. Or, hey, brother, you got to reach out to your father. There's some missing chapters in your spirit that need to be read, and he's in possession of them, brother. And I'm only telling you this as a spiritual helpmate to say, brother, yes, we doing good. Yes, brother, you paying all the bills. Yes, brother. Yes, brother, you go out and you fight the world. But you fighting something on you with your inner world that you might not be able to win unless you go get the resources, brother. Please listen to me, brother. That's a wife too, right? And many times men don't want to hear that. We'd rather twist a wrench, which is good. Let's twist the wrench. But don't, listen to what I'm saying now. Don't say, all I gotta do is twist the wrench. Nah, sometimes you need to sit down in nature. This is what the sisters be telling me every day. Sometimes you got to sit down in nature, connect with your spirit, and start purging some of the things that you have suppressed and repressed, brother. Because guess what? Through suppression and repression, through the vehicle of relationship, you will find expression. That's what you don't want. When you start expressing like uncontrollably, like, you know what, I'm sick of the way you like, men hold it in until they pop off. You don't want it to come out that way. You want it to come out in a way that's, you understand, that's healthy. Like, oh, I can share this without fear of being judged, without fear of being condemned. Many men know how to present perfection. They know how to project perfection. But if you got a man that needs to be mothered, that should be a red flag off rip. Let me tell you something. For me, my mother did the best she could. And I made peace with it. I wasn't like my siblings. My siblings were salty for many, many years. And I had to tell them, your mother had a nervous breakdown at the age of 27. They put her on psychotropic drugs, right? Her brain was altered by that. And yet you still got expectations of who she should be? Are you on drugs? Did you go to jail? Oh, so she was a good enough mother to navigate you around drugs and jail and got you out of the projects, and you still salty about what she couldn't do or what she didn't do? Come on. Once I made peace with my mother, we had the best relationship ever. because I understand. I learned to accept her. I started to see the star in her. Like, oh, you were able to do all of these things, but you were impaired. Sometimes, man, we got to find a way to let go of those old patterns and wounds that a work in progress set in place. If we want a good woman, brothers, we got to make peace with mama. We got to make peace with daddy. We got to make peace with our attachment styles, the attachment wounds that come with them, the expectations that are actually co-authored by them. We got to do some things. And this goes both ways. See, when people hear it like one-sided, they'll go, oh, he talking about he dogging men. But this, in a relationship context, this applies to women too. Right? Otherwise, if you suppress and repress, it will be expressed probably in a negative way, in a dysfunctional way, when you enter the doors of the University of You. What is the University of You? Relationships. Ronan, Indianapolis, get in here.
Hey, what's going on?
What's happening, man?
Yeah, just had to step back because this topic hits home a lot. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, talk to me about it.
Well, thing is, like, growing up as a naturally born artist, that's where I found expression, digging deep within myself. But when you deal with a person who becomes a neglectful narcissist, which is your mother, there's times where her version of nurturing ended up feeling like neutering.
Ooh. Don't do that. Here we go. Here come Ronan. He said the nurturing ended up feeling like neutering. Explain, please explain.
The thing is, see, when you nurture, you sit there and look at things a different way. You sit there, your approach is different. You handle things with care. But when you come with blunt force trauma from yourself, and you're sitting there just talking at people, or you listen to respond, like your version of nurturing is abrasive, to where people, are visceral whenever you start talking, and then in response, you get more of that emotional abuse. This is where you start fighting back, and you're viewed as rebellious or whatnot. But you really fighting for your standards, your boundaries, and that's where things gonna start getting personal. And it cuts to the point where you have to try to separate yourself in some kind of ways. But in my youth, I did it in my art. I would sit there and like dig deep drawing, and probably my greatest works out there was a release from all the crazy stuff that was happening outside of it.
Now, how did this translate to your intimate relationships? Did you feel like you needed your woman to be the relational supplement, the relational vitamin, multivitamin that actually gave you what your mother wasn't able to give you? Talk to me.
In a sense, it's like being so emotionally famished. You started realizing things about yourself. Some things you started fighting, but you had to accept the fact that maybe you had to purge that frequency of trauma, failure, stress, unnecessary demands and standards. So I had to take some time to purge that stuff out of myself, like step away from people for a while. I would sit there and like be cordial or even social, but as far as like opening up, that took a Herculean effort for a while. And so I had to learn how to heal myself after a while. Because even get to the point where you try to, like you said, like you try to address the mother at the time, but then you start wondering, who is this person praying to when they told you at one point in an argument that they revealed themselves as God.
Ooh.
So now you have to step away. Like, this is not my fight. This is something different.
Right.
So this is where you have to love people at a distance, and some people are afraid to take that time to heal themselves, and it does take work.
Mm-hmm. And but on your journey, what work have you done? Talk to us about it, man. You're an example for everybody right now. Talk to us.
Well, kind of the toughest part was when I held so much things. I was trained to hold a lot of things in, because if you were telling the truth or even expressing yourself, it was viewed as disrespectful. And if you take that route, I was like almost an eyelash away from an aneurysm. That's what the doctor told me. So I immediately had to really look at what am I doing to express myself. I had to learn how to take compliments. I had to learn how to actually pay myself. And that goes into basically a relationship boot camp. You got to start, seeing, you got to have a healthy relationship with yourself more than anything before you can teach people how to be around you, how to treat you, and how to respond to things.
Man.
And then after a while, you look at it. Now you have to go back into the dragon's lair and make your stand this is not going to go the way it's been.
Right.
And you can respond the way you want to, but do understand, once you violate these boundaries, I have to set you apart for your safety and my sanity. I had to stay over here, but I got to respect you at a distance. But still, certain battles are not yours to fight. They have to wage that war within themselves to win themselves back.
Ronan, let me just say, brother, this has been the least funny call you have made to this show in the 2 years we've been on, but it has been the most transparent, brother. And I so appreciate you, man, for being so open and honest, man. I really do appreciate that, man. You don't know who's listening, right? We national, man. People calling from all over. What happened to my San Antonio call? San Antonio, get back in here. So many people have been calling it. You don't know who's listening, brother, and you don't know who you've helped. So just understand this, man. I got one thing to ask you. What did you just do?
Well, thanks to you and others, I had helped to do this, but I brought Indianapolis into the building.
Naptown is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, you already know what time it is. You already know. Cue them cards. We going to play some cards, some organs. We about to get fed some of that homegrown, home-cooked. You know when somebody cooks something and they so focused and on the process and they just love it, and you can feel the love coming off them as they cooking. You know how you cook and you don't even measure nothing. You just grab a pinch of this and a pinch of that, and it's always perfect. Nikki from the SIP is on her way into the VOR. Give her a chance to cook, y'all.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Thea Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Kim Saracen, the Queen of Hearts, and today we are looking at the major signs that you're mothering your man. Now, even this topic, I'm sure, is already making you cringe, because I know a lot of women are aware of having this habit somewhere to a certain element inside of them. And it's actually not surprising, because as women, we are the natural caretakers and caregivers of the world. I mean, this is just something that comes to us really naturally. And so the tendency for us to be over nurturing with a man is actually quite high, and I see it a lot with my clients. And I also see it a lot with a certain type of woman. And this woman tends to have a fair amount of masculine energy running. She tends to be a very domineering type of person. Often is in a position of leadership in her career or her business. And what this woman will do is she will specifically choose men that are kind of sensitive and quiet and in the background. And then what happens is she ends up losing respect for them, steamrolling over them. There's no sex happening, and she eventually dumps him and then repeats this cycle over and over again. And the reason this type of woman will choose that type of guy is because she doesn't want him to get in the way of her life or her career in any way. So it's perfectly suitable for her to have this guy just kind of be in the background and not interfere with her life. But the thing is, what's missing for this kind of woman is that she will never have relationships that have any kind of deep intimacy, because she's choosing men who won't set any boundaries with her. And she's just too afraid to surrender into a strong guy who will set boundaries with her. It's not safe for her to surrender. So you might not be 100% this kind of woman, but there might.
I had to stand on the shore and watch Zion's ships go sailing over. And I stood on the banks of Jordan. Oh yeah, I have seen all ships.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had to bring in the special music for our special caller, Nikki from the SIP. Come on in here now. Let's go.
Brothers O in the film.
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, love?
Oh my. Maybe food for thought. We might, on some levels, be confusing what it means to be a mother and what it is to provide mothering. We were talking earlier about, the feelings moms have of fear and worry. And on some levels, controlling their boys into manhood. Well, to me, mothering at my house, mothering meant caring and being protective and kind and teaching me how to control myself. So there wasn't a need for my father or mother to have to control me. That went for my brothers also. So I don't come from a controlling place where mothering is concerned. To me, the feelings of worry or control or fear are feelings mothers have, but not that are imprinted on the children relative to mothering. Those are separate issues, both of them real, but not where the mom or the dad is imposing those emotions that they have as adults on those children. That's not appropriate.
Right.
Once upon a time in a marriage, I worked at one hospital, husband worked at another hospital. We were 2 hours away. He had been feeling ill for almost 2 weeks. I'd been telling him that every day because I do sick people. He's not listening.
Wait, Nikki, you cooking, and I need you to have space. Just hold tight. When we come forward, she gonna tell us how she nurtured him, because I don't believe she gonna tell us how she mothered him. I could be wrong. Nikki from the SIP is already cooking. Don't you move a muscle. When we come forward, the rest of the story from Nikki from the SIP.
Don't leave me down here. You took my father. You came back and got my mother. You took everything to me that was so dear.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A civil rights figure is now immortalized in Richmond, Virginia. The city unveiled a statue of Jane Cooper Johnson. In 1961, as a 12-year-old girl known as Daisy Jane Cooper, she was the first black student to attend West Hampton Junior High School. The 12-foot-high statue is called Strides. Johnson remembers being very lonely at the time, and she tells 12 on Your Side she hopes this creates a dialogue that leads to empathy and compassion. The operators of a Dayton, Ohio Sleep Number mattress outlet are agreeing to a settlement with a local woman over her treatment at their store in December 2023. The Dayton unit of the NAACP assisted 85-year-old Helen Dewberry as she dealt with corporate leaders. Employees called police on Dewberry in December after she questioned them about a purchase agreement and reportedly refused to leave. The company has apologized to the woman and they have agreed to put employees through bias-free customer service training. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Don't let a traffic accident ruin your day. Visit fixautousa.com to find the nearest Fix Auto location. Their highly trained and certified technicians will have you back on the road in no time. You have a choice on who fixes your vehicle. Tell your insurance agent that you want to go to Fix Auto.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
What's up? I'm Danelle Riley, FAMU alumni and creator of the HBCU Culture Shop. I am so proud of my new partnership with Black Beyond Measure and Target. They help me elevate community pride with my HBCU designs and continue to support Black creators and entrepreneurs with Target HBCU challenges, scholarship programs, and campus collaborations. Let's come together this homecoming season and beyond. Shop my brand and discover other Black-owned products at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk Radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of
So if you're wondering what is the difference between caring for your boyfriend or husband versus mothering them, I'm going to get into that right now. Okay. So mothering is anything that is tied to the codependent need to make them different, to make them what you think they should be so that you feel better. That's full-on codependency. When you're trying to do things for someone else as a manipulation to try to get them to do things the way you want them to do, this is all mothering, right? Now, caring is I go to the store, I know that my husband likes a certain kind of snack, I saw that he's running low, and they had an extra snack, like a new one, that they were like, try it, it's new. And I said, oh, maybe he'll like that. That's a way of showing, care. Like, I thought of you, it's thoughtfulness, it's being a team.
She's described a lot of mothers. Big Mama, my Big Mama was just like that, mothering. Listen, you gonna come over here, you're gonna do things the way I want you to do them because they make me happy. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the building. You know what it is. Live from KBLA Talk 1580. Tonight's topic has been on fire. Great callers, great contributions, great clips. Tonight's topic, the new mama's boy. Mothering. When men are boys and wives become mothers. It's been on complete fire. And of course, one of my favorite callers, they're all my favorite callers. But Nikki from the SIP is in the building, and she was telling us a story about how her husband and her both worked in a hospital 2 hours apart. Then the husband got sick. Nikki, get in here.
He calls me and says, I need you to come take care of me like mama, and the phone goes dead. He ends up passed out. I had to call that hospital, have the ER go get and rescue him, and then I had to get to the hospital. I was getting there that day because I was so angry with him.
Why were you angry?
Because what that call represented to me. For 2 weeks, I'm telling you sick and what we need to do to help this problem.
He wasn't listening.
You wait until you on your deathbed, and what do you want? You want your mother's care. The ER is 10 feet from you, and you did not run to the place that could keep you alive. You wanted to run back up in the womb with your mama.
Talk to us, Nikki. Talk to us.
You lost all your ability to see safety, life, all of that for trying to get back to the mama. So when I got to the hospital, I called his mom. and made sure she got there and explained to him and her, this is how this gonna go. You and him are gonna solve this mama-baby situation. And until you become the man I married, do not come back to my house, because I need a man at my house. I don't need no mama's boy up in here. If you can't do that, then let me know, and then I can get you some replacements. Because whatever went on between you and her that made you want her more than you wanted to live, I don't need that guy at my house. He can't do nothing for me. We had only been married like 2 years at that point.
I bet you he got it together, didn't he?
Oh, not only did he get it together, but his mom said, oh, you got the right one now. Because, see, I put a demand on that manhood. Either you are or you not. And I was young then. So I've been me all the time.
Yeah, I love you, Nikki. You know I love you because you allowed him to be a human, make a mistake, but you you put a demand on the manhood after the mistake was made.
Correct. This is not about me being jealous of your relationship with your, because see, I don't know what all that is. It's scary to me because you are willing to bypass, forget about the thing that can make you stay alive to get back to mama. And you are 12 years older than I am. What?
Come on, Nikki, keep cooking.
No, sir. See, you're not going to be a gelding in my house. You are either going to show up and be a man or not. And until you decide, don't come back home.
This ain't your house no more. Don't until you decide.
Now you get well and all that, but you better have it worked out by the time they discharge you, because I can tell you what address you're not coming back to, and I meant that. And him and the mama thank me. Because, see, I'm not playing. This ain't no joke. I came from a house with 8 brothers. What I'm going to do with a boy? I know what that is.
Right.
I saw that every day, my whole life. Next, I married a man. And men do not do that. Men do not forego safety, oxygen, this side of dirt to get back to mama.
So, Nikki, how do I fix me? Because I'm the invert of that. What I've experienced is women, you don't listen at all, Zoe. Like, you just, like, I only answer to me, right? I make decisions, like, I'm answering to me. And so, again, if they try to give me that insight, or if they try to, speak something into my ear, I may listen, or I'll record it in my mind, but it doesn't resonate off rip because I'm just on autopilot. Talk to me about it, Nikki.
But see, you have to know how to finesse the man that you have or the boy that you have. Timing, and you have to put it in a context that he can understand, because the next conversation we had was, okay, let me show you what you did look like to me. So when you come back to the house, now I got balls. So who you going to bed with?
Ooh. Nikki!
Now we got all kind of problems. Because I'm out of position. The Lord can't do what he's supposed to do in the blessing of the sacrament because we all out of order. Because now the female of the equation got balls. What? No. So you got to understand that dude you have. I know he was a man. Believe me. He showed me many a time.
Okay.
So we had to appeal to the place where I knew he could hear me, not with his physical ears, but with the spirit man that stands up and says, wait a minute, did she just call me a punk?
Righteous.
Hold on.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
She gonna be using phrases like "you first" when I say certain things to her. Wait a minute.
Ooh. So you had to speak a language he could understand.
He could understand, and that's part of knowing the spirit that you are with. Because I needed him to understand, as your wife, I'm expecting you to show up every day. What you just did makes me a widow.
Ooh.
We've been married 5 minutes. I have not had time to change the insurance policy yet. Hello? See, if you never turn the mirror around, we do what's good for goose is good for gander at our house. So, you keep coming up in here with these options. I'm going to explain to you what that looks like to me.
Oh, man.
Can you live with that?
Nikki, guess what you just did, young lady?
I love everybody. I brought the slip in the building.
She brought Mississippi in the building in a real way. When we come forward, Zoe Williams going to try to land this plane after Nikki took us up to 40,000 feet.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, starting February 1st, you'll be able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility, up to 6%, can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
The first time I tried to quit vaping, I told myself that it was like a mountain that I had to climb over. And once I got to the other side, it would be clear. But I couldn't make it over. What really got me to quit was my little sister. I saw her vaping. So I was back in the mountain, but this time she was up there with me. It's weird what you can do for others that you won't do for yourself.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of This Light of Ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This Light of Ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This Light of Ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, Childish Gambino. My playlist is my co-host. The name of the record is Baby Boy. We on fire tonight. This one of them ones. I'm so appreciative for all the callers that have been calling in, man. Let's get my brother in here real quick. Truemonger from Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, brother?
Oh, man.
This how I know it was good. Whenever it's a good topic, he always go, oh, man. That's right. Talk to me, True.
You know what? I've seen this type of relationship before I could understand what it was since I was a child. It's always been weird to me, but then when I didn't have any knowledge of what it could possibly be, it just seemed weird. But as I got older and started gaining more knowledge about certain things, I'm like, a lot of these folks just got issues, unresolved issues, because you seeking your mother or father from your spouse. To me, that just seems off. But maybe they're just seeking whatever they were lacking in their life. I've experienced that in some relationships, and I would respectfully tell them not to do that. I'm like, I had a mother, she did her job. I don't need you to be there for me. And maybe it's because they had to take on that role for their siblings or other people, and I understood that. I'm like, I'm not asking that from you. I'm not requiring that from you. I need you to just be you. I'm fully capable of handling stuff myself. If you're going to be with me, be with me. I don't need a replacement mother. It's like I'm not trying to be a replacement daddy. But sometimes people have to sit by themselves in order to realize what they're actually doing. Again, it's up to them whether they want to change it.
Right.
More likely, if they want to change it, people will help them. But if they're just talking and they're not really trying to make any changes about it, there ain't nothing I can do for you.
Right.
You have to figure that out on your own.
So, real quick, True, I got a question for you, man, because what are we, 350 topics in during the Voice of Reason? We're like 350 topics, right? So what you're starting to see as a through line to all of these topics about relationships is what you modeled in your past and the resilience needed in order to face it, in order to cultivate a healthy relationship. So my question to you is, when you see somebody, and you said you dealt with it before, where a sister tried to do that and you were like, don't do that. The question now becomes, is that a red flag when you see that?
Yeah. But it could be a workable red flag if they acknowledge it.
So it's a pink flag.
Yeah, it's pinkish, yeah.
It's a pinkish. Okay, good. Let's go.
But if they dismiss it or they don't listen, then it's a bloody red flag. And it's time for me to bounce. We could be cool, but that's about it.
I love it, True. Guess what you just did, good brother?
This is about Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas in the building. We appreciate everybody from all over the nation that have called tonight. Man, this is a great conversation. Real quick, Andy, what's left on the playlist? It was one I was looking to hear, man. Come on, James.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing.
Law.
Nothing.
Law. Okay. What else?
A woman.
We got another one. Hey.
I want to see
where you got it. I'm the hottest around. They'll know when they see you rolling them polars around.
Come on.
With the top down, feeling the sounds quaking and vibrating.
My playlist is my co-host. What else?
bottom white.
I can't hide myself.
This is a great record.
I don't expect you to understand.
Darius Rucker.
I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road.
Okay, I know I got another one.
And they don't.
This is the one I've been waiting for the whole night. Come on! The voice of reason. We had a great topic tonight. The new mama's boy. Heavy stuff. Brothers, if you want to be in a relationship with a good woman, you got to be good to yourself, man. And the best way to be good to yourself is to heal what is yours to heal. Your woman can support you. She can stand next to you. She can nurture you. She can care about you. She can love on you. She can even give guidance. She can do all that. But at the end of the day, all the real substantive work that pertains to healing your spirit can only be done by you. And the same is true for her. You can support, you can rock with her, you can stay with her, you can hold her hand and walk the path with her, but you can't walk for her as she heals. If you got issues with your mother, if you got issues with your father, those issues will manifest in relationships, right? Your woman can't be your mama, but she can be something different. She can be something as loving. She can be something as caring, something as nurturing, but you got to allow her to be the truth of who she is. You know, you shouldn't want to be babied anyway. Part of masculinity is conquering. Now, don't get caught up on conquering the world without conquering yourself, brother. Do you understand? Part of conquering for masculinity, one of the most significant things you can conquer is yourself. All right? Conquer your fears, conquer your childhood wounds, conquer your attachment expectations and wounds. When you're able to do that, brother, you can show up as an all-true man. Let me just say this. Our girl, your girl, my friend, your friend, Jill Monroe is next. She gonna keep the fire lit. RSVP with Jill Monroe. Zoe Williams and his Friday is tomorrow. We're gonna hit you with another slapper. All right? Deuces.